Hi.
Hi, we just have a few questions. May we come in?
Sure, come in.
Thank you for having us here.
Welcome to our home. If you've watched any of our other videos, I'm sure you'll be familiar with it because I think it features in pretty much all our videos.
Anyway, we have a few questions. First off, I was wondering if Origin Nutrition was a city, what would it be?
I think definitely Bombay because I did my undergrad in Bombay, and like Bombay, I think where we stand for being raw and real, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. Who's more likely to rope a stranger into a conversation about protein?
Oh my god, definitely Chirag. For somebody who's a total introvert in general and hardly speaks, I mean, I think that's my biggest pet peeve with him. If somebody starts talking about protein, like, he can't stop.
Nice. What made you decide to start Origin Nutrition?
That also had to do with Chirag and his sensitive stomach. So basically, we were both plant protein consumers because he was intolerant to whey. So because of that, we'd like get our protein from the US and it would get stuck in customs. We'd have to pay these massive duties. And finally, I had a small food manufacturing unit myself. So at the time he said, why can't we develop something ourselves since you're into food? And I thought, yeah, it was a great challenge to take up. And that's how we started.
Interesting. So what's the story behind the name Origin?
So I think it encompasses all that we stand for. We really put a lot of effort into finding out where every single raw material comes from, the source. We have relationships with every supplier so that we understand exactly, where it comes from. So I think we want to know the origin of everything, and that's pretty much how the name stuck.
Did either of you have a background in nutrition or food science before starting?
No, that's the funny part. Everybody asks me this, are you a food scientist? But actually, none of us have studied nutrition or food science. We've literally just started out of passion. We've learned along the way. We've had some hard lessons, but that's finally what's got us to where we are now.
What was the exact problem in the market you felt needed solving?
So at the time we started, which was 2020, there were actually hardly any plant protein brands in India, very few. And whatever we found was honestly like we couldn't palate it. The taste was horrible. And also we realized that the protein industry at the time was highly unregulated. So you couldn't really trust what you were getting. And it's something that you have every day. So that's when we also realized that we wanted to build a product that was super high quality. And that's why we decided to manufacture ourselves as well.
Interesting. So how long did the idea sit before you actually pulled the trigger?
So I would say when Chirag first challenged me to build the product, and to the time we first launched our first product, which was only one SKU, it was our chocolate protein, and it took literally 18 months. And we were I would say naive when we first thought of it. We thought, in another 6 months, we'll easily get it solved. But it took 18 months from start to finish.
Nice. So how did you split roles between yourself day to day?
So I think the thing about both Chirag and me is that our strengths are really different. So that works out well because I look after, I have a very creative sort of, if I may say so myself, I think between Chirag and me, I'm the more creative one, and he's a very ops guy. He's very into systems and processes. So I handle the manufacturing part, product, formulation, and social media, and he does pretty much all the rest.
So who's the optimist and who's the realist?
I think if you knew either of us, I'm a huge optimist and he's a bit too real.
Nice. This is a question for both of you. Is there a no business talk rule in the house?
Absolutely not.
We live and breathe Origin. So maybe people might say that's highly unromantic, but we love it. We love our lives, we love our work, and we can't wait to come back and discuss what has happened during the day. And I think we're in the best phase of our lives, right?
Yeah.
Nice. So how do you two navigate health decisions in your own family given how much you know?
So I think, we both feel that health should not be extreme. Health should be consistency. Health should be like small everyday habits that you can easily incorporate into your life. So that's how we live. Like we think exercising every day in whatever form that you enjoy is what works. Like we wouldn't say you have to exercise X or Y way. Do whatever works for you, but make sure that you do some sort of movement every day. And that's what we follow. We're pretty, I think, pedantic about that. And also like eating healthy. Most of the week we eat at home, so that makes it relatively healthy. We definitely do eat out once in a while, like once a week, and we have a great time. So we don't feel like you need to restrict too much, but at the same time, yeah, generally live a healthy life. And then when you want to enjoy a bit, you should.
Nice. A bit of a technical round now. How did you decide on your very first product?
So we realized that in India, chocolate is the best-selling flavor, and I'm a huge chocoholic. So we can say that I did have vested interest in it, and so we decided to launch with one chocolate flavor in the beginning. We didn't know how people would respond to the product as well, so we were being a bit cautious. But very honestly, as soon as we launched, we got a really good response, and that's what made us like veer into different flavors after that.
Nice. So how many formulations did you actually go through before the first product was final?
Like tons. I can't tell you. So in that 18 months that I said that we started to like launching our first product, I think I would have gone through definitely like around 150 trials minimum.
Wow. Okay. So what makes Indian palates different when it comes to protein powders?
So Indians, I think for Indians, taste is number one. I think we're all like that. We're all massive foodies at heart. And so for Indians, even if it's healthy, it has to be taste first and then, everything else after that.
So what was the hardest technical problem you've solved in formulation?
So honestly, like plant protein on its own, especially when we first started, the plant protein is quite dense and it is a bit chalky because it's made from plants, right? And what we were doing is specializing in pea protein, so that's extracted from pea. So obviously it was much more dense than say whey protein is. But we did a lot of work, that's why it took us 18 months to find the best type of pea protein that mixed well, that, had a good texture. And then the way we formulated it was such that, we could make sure that we as consumers could enjoy it every day. Honestly, from that time till now, the industry has changed a lot as well. Technology has improved, extraction processes have improved. So the actual quality of pea protein has also improved. So that way, the product that we were used to in 2020 is very different from the products that are available now.
Nice. I'm curious, what is the role of digestive enzymes in the products, and when did you decide to add it?
So digestive enzymes are enzymes that are already there in the body. So it just helps you digest your food better. And Indians are not used to having protein, even though protein is very essential and very good for you. So that's why we decided we'd add in digestive enzymes to help. It's just helpful to digest anything, not just protein, but anything at all.
Nice. So how long does it typically take to go from an R&D concept to a shelf-ready product?
So larger companies, I'm sure, can get it done in a very small amount of time. But for us, we are so particular about each and every raw material that we put in our products. So, the supply of each thing, we speak to the actual manufacturers themselves. And I think that whole process easily takes us like 10 months to a year.
Wow. Okay. So then what were the biggest bottlenecks when you launched the first product?
So, of course, like we didn't understand UI, UX. And so when we first built our website, we were like really proud of it, both Chirag and me. It was the first e-commerce website we were building. And as soon as we launched, the day that we launched, the next day, one of our friends who was into the e-commerce industry, he said, the website is horrible. It has absolutely no UI, UX design in it. So you have to redo it. So we literally took it down, built a landing page temporarily, and had to redo our entire website.
That sounds stressful.
It was.
But how do you ensure batch to batch consistency with the products?
So that's why we decided to manufacture it ourselves, honestly, because when you're manufacturing it with someone else, with contract manufacturers, and in the beginning we did explore those options, what we found was we couldn't identify any manufacturer that we could wholeheartedly trust and that they would be as vested in the quality of the product as we would be. And that was a huge gap that we found when we started, which is why we decided to do the manufacturing ourselves so that we could be in charge of quality through and through.
That brings me to the next question. So what does quality control look like on the floor?
So I always say that I don't call our factory a factory, I call it a lab. Because I say that's the kind of mindset that everyone who steps in has to have. It's a laboratory. So, in terms of the cleanliness, the processes, everything that one follows, it has to be like a laboratory. So, in terms of just having everything extremely clean, because we don't have any preservatives, anything in the products, the entire process, we cannot let even a single, any bacteria get in, because once it gets in, then your product is spoiled. So the entire process has to be super hygienic.
Nice. So how has manufacturing changed from your first year to now?
So funnily enough, manufacturing has definitely changed a lot in terms of, when we first started, we had 3 people in our manufacturing unit, and now we have 25. So just in sheer magnitude of size, the number of people have increased, the size of our machines have increased, but our ethics, our values, our basic processes and our mindsets have always stayed the same.
Nice. So how did you figure out who your customer really is?
So, when we first started, we obviously, I think, we wanted to cater to everyone. That's the problem with being, I think, founders. You think your product is for everyone. But I think the more that we understood about our target audience, we realized that they were from around 27 to 45, which is people who had actually kind of understood a lot more, had a lot better understanding about health in general. And those are the people who resonated with our product.
So what does Origin Nutrition stand beyond the product? What's the deeper brand belief?
So for us, I think Origin is a reflection of who Chirag and me are as individuals. And what that means is that we have made our brand, our products all gentle and effective for everyday life. And of course, nutrition for the whole family. That's how we built all our products as well.
Nice. So in a category full of gym bro imagery, how do you carve out a different identity?
Okay, actually guys, I have to get on a quick call, but Chirag, actually, why don't you answer that question?
So we've been trying to do this ever since we started, because I think I heard Aditi mention why we started it. We weren't meant for the gym bros right in the beginning. We wanted to solve the larger protein problem that most Indians have. So we've been doing content to make people aware of this right from the beginning. Of course, it was very hard. It's been very hard. It's much easier now because there are a lot more brands in our space and they're saying the same thing. So I think awareness has increased a lot in the last 1 year.
Nice. So what's the single hardest business decision you had made so far?
I think when we started, it was like a passion project that we started. It wasn't really a full-time business. So later leaving a family business which was secure and going after the passion and making it full-time, I think that was a difficult decision, but I'm glad we made it.
Nice. So how did you decide on your pricing strategy in a cost-sensitive market?
Honestly, we didn't really have a pricing strategy when we started. Like I mentioned, it was a passion project we started, so it was just based on cost. There were no real competitors in 2020 when we started. So it was just based on cost, I think we started.
So then what's the one pivot you made that you're most proud of?
When we started researching into 2018 that we wanted to kind of do this, we were talking to a lot of manufacturers because naturally we didn't think of setting up manufacturing on our own. We talked to a lot of manufacturers, understood how it's done, and also were looking to outsource the manufacturing. We decided, because of the things we learned and the issues in the space, we decided to set up our own manufacturing. Although it was a small setup, but still we said we'll invest and do our own manufacturing because we wanted to have complete control of the process. So I think that was difficult at that point considering the situation, but more than glad that we made it.
So now I'm curious, have you ever turned down an opportunity because it didn't line up with what's actually healthy for families?
This happens almost every day, thinking about new products. We get opportunities for a lot of products that currently are doing well, and we're very enticed to kind of get into those products, but unfortunately it doesn't line up with our thought process and our values. And even though it may be the easy way out, but we follow, like, unless we can give it to our family, we don't want to make it.
That's nice. What's the most surprising demographic that buys your products?
I think we set out to solve for older people, because contrary to belief, more than young people, as we age, we lose muscle, so we need protein more. And although we went with that goal and we are trying to solve for older people as well, and we created a product for that, we were very worried about whether it will actually do well, because in India, all, including my mother and all her friends, they are used to eating a certain way and they're not used to having supplements, right? So but fortunately we've been able to penetrate there, and I think it's doing better than we expected.
So what's a message from a customer that genuinely moved you?
We get messages all the time which keeps us going. Unfortunately, all of us are used to only writing reviews or giving feedback when it's negative. I'm guilty of the same thing before I started Origin. Now that we do it and we are on the other side, I understand how it feels. So it's mostly, we are used to giving negative feedback only, but we do receive a lot of positive feedback, fortunately, and that's like it just keeps us going, because it's a great feeling when that happens, and it helps us move further.
How do you build loyalty in a repeat purchase category where switching is easy?
Loyalty in India is very hard, as most people have experienced, in terms of products, and everyone wants to try new things. We do a lot to have retention, and we try to engage with consumers, not just about the product or discounts or sales, but also trying to help them, motivate them to build habits, workouts, motivational messaging, recipes and things like that. So we try to engage with the consumer as much as we can.
And how do you educate consumers who still think plant protein is inferior?
That's something we've been doing every day. We have to do it, but I would like to say that that's changing now, and this issue has been solved years ago. So it is not inferior. It has been solved for. There's enough and more research, strong research for this. So we just continue to create awareness on the same.
So what's the biggest misconception people have about your products?
I would like to say that it's expensive, because actually it's not. If we compare across products, even across other proteins, I would like to say it's not expensive at all. And I think the way we branded it from day one and the way we positioned it feels like a premium product because of everything we give, but it's not really more expensive than the market.
So why plant protein specifically? Is this a business call or a personal conviction?
This was a personal decision, because I'm lactose intolerant. I was consuming plant protein now for the last 15 years I've been consuming plant protein, and it was out of a personal need that we started this. And although when we started, whey protein was massive, plant protein the market was hardly even there. Even today, whey protein is much larger. But we consciously decided on day one that we will remain a plant-based brand as such. So while we've been enticed to move into whey protein many a time, we've never wanted to do that.
So, do you think plant protein can genuinely replace whey for serious athletes?
100%. In fact, we have a lot of athletes who consume our products. They buy our products and they consume our products, and we've got messaging from them as well of how they feel after that and how it's helped their game and all of that. Of course, we don't have official tie-ups with a lot of them, so we can't share all of this, but lot of athletes, elite athletes, consume our product, especially because we also have a certification of informed choice, so it's safe for them to consume. But we get a lot of messages, and a lot of them have spoken to us through their nutritionists and told us how it's helped them.
So, what would you never do, no matter how much money was on the table?
I think, like I said, I think whey protein is where it would have been very easy. It still is very easy for us to create a whey protein product and enter into that market, considering we've been around for a bit. So that opportunity is very much there. But like I said, we have consciously on day one decided that we will remain a plant-based brand, and I think that's very clear that we'll always be that.
So, if Origin Nutrition had to fix one health habit in every Indian household, what would it target first?
I think balanced eating, balancing your macros. So just the right amount of protein, carbohydrates and fat. I think that's the most basic thing, and I think everyone should do that. I don't believe in these fad diets, and I believe in balancing macros, and I think that's something that we would love to solve for.
So, is there a health choice you make in your own family that you wish more Indian households would adopt?
Of course, I think like I sort of mentioned earlier, balanced nutrition, the right amount of protein, carbohydrates and fats is critical, and I think that's how we eat at home.
Nice. So, where is Aditi? Let's go find her. But what's the value at Origin Nutrition that is non-negotiable, even if it's expensive?
I think the biggest thing would be for us is ingredients, raw material sourcing. That's always been the most important thing for us. We have relationship directly with the manufacturers, and we never compromise on quality.
So, what does a Monday morning look like for your team?
Monday mornings are Monday mornings, like I'm sure for everyone, it's a bit chaotic, but I think we have a lot of review meetings and plan the week out. So I think Mondays are chaotic for everyone.
So, what advice would you give to a first-time founder about building their first team?
I think it's difficult to say. Everyone has to go through their own journey. We started slow. We started with one person and we built it gradually. Whereas I know some others who have gone way more aggressive and built things much faster, maybe burning a lot of money on the way. But that's not how we thought through it.
Okay, now on to the rapid fire round. What's your go-to breakfast?
Salo with goat's cheese and scrambled egg, and of course an Origin Nutrition protein shake.
So what is your Origin Nutrition favorite flavor? And when do you have it?
For me, it would be strawberry is something I have almost every day. But I like to keep switching the flavors. So I have strawberry, vanilla, kulfi. These are flavors.
Basically all.
Okay. The book that genuinely changed how you think about business.
Innovation Stack.
And one health habit from your own upbringing you've kept and the one that you've deliberately broken.
For me, one I've kept for sure is movement.
I think broken would be milk, because I think coming from a Punjabi family, milk was a big big thing, which I definitely don't have anymore.
What's one health myth Indian families still pass down that you wish you could quietly rewrite?
I think definitely have a glass of milk. Even if you don't eat your meal, it's okay. Just have a glass of milk.
Yeah, I just heard that yesterday too. So, where do you see Origin Nutrition in 5 years?
I think we're trying to be a household name for the most trusted nutrition in India.
So, is there a product category you're dying to enter that you haven't done yet?
Yes, RTDs.
So, what's the innovation in nutrition science that piques your curiosity?
I think it is. We've been reading and talking to people who are actually doing this, and they're actually making protein in a lab. So I think maybe few years from now we'll all be having protein that's made from a lab.
And what's one thing you would do differently if you were to start Origin Nutrition again today?
Oh my gosh, I think so many things, but I think it's just important that everyone goes through their journey because they learn from that. So I don't think there's any one thing in particular, so many things, but yeah, as I said, you just have to go through it.
Okay, one last question before I leave. What's one thing you want every person watching this to take away about plant protein?
I think that plant protein is as effective as any other protein. Yeah, that's it.
Great. Well, thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you.
And we are excited to see what's coming up.